Hello there. My name is Jasper Forster. I'm from Plymouth, Michigan, and I'm a 2023 Junior Fellow working with the Music Division under the guidance of Paul Sommerfeld. I received my bachelor's degree in music performance from Baldwin Wallace University, and I'm currently pursuing a master's degree in information science from the University of Michigan. My project this summer was titled Enhancing Visibility Music Manuscripts. So RISM, or the International Inventory of Musical Sources, is an international database that, quote, aims to comprehensively document extant musical sources worldwide, end quote. RISM made a recent change to accept manuscripts from any time period where previously only works created prior to 1800 were accepted. This is the inspiration behind my project, which focused on reporting American music manuscripts from the 19th century and or early 20th century to RISM. I was fortunate to be given the creative freedom to choose the focus of my project within this wide time frame. I aimed my efforts on African-American composers primarily active during the 1920s to 50s. This aligns with the library's goals of sharing its materials to the public, particularly the works of underrepresented groups. In addition, I wanted to reinforce among performers and scholars that there is more to the legacy of American music than the writings of white men. So I began by researching composers and collecting information on what the music division held. Along with my own musical knowledge, I utilized different resources for this, including the library's reference materials and bibliographies of African-American musicians and online databases like Grove Music Online. Once I amassed a list, I took to the online catalog, the card catalog, and archival finding aids to see who was present within the library's collections, and I received additional help from the music division reference librarians. Each manuscript went through the same process necessary to create a digital record. First, I pulled the manuscript and recorded metadata into a spreadsheet that acted as a rough draft for my records. Pictured here is an excerpt from Heidi Ho Man by Lillian Hardin Armstrong, which displays some metadata I would be looking for in a manuscript, including the title, composer, how it was acquired, and more. Below this is the spreadsheet entry I created for it. Next, I encoded music in chippets. A music in chippet is the opening or melodic line of a musical work. Since music manuscripts are unique objects by definition, music in chippets help to differentiate between sources. There are benefits outside of this original function as well, such as when Katy Perry was sued for copyright infringement with Dark Horse. Musicologists searched for the supposedly stolen line in RISM and found hundreds of results, with the line dating back hundreds of years, which helped prove and support Perry's innocence. In my project, some sources contained one in-chippet, some contained multiple, as they were multi-movement works that required an in-chippet per movement. Pictured here is the melody from the manuscript of Florence B. Price's Fantasy Negra in E minor, which I then encoded, shown in the following picture, as well as the final result of how it appears in its record. After this, my mentor conducted a review of the record I created, and then I officially published it to the RISM database. On the left is the official record I created for William Grant Still's orchestral work, Old California. And on the right is a search of Florence Price in RISM and the resulting records that I created. I'm particularly proud of my accomplishment in ascertaining the name of a manuscript initially labeled unidentified. One composer I created records for was Ulysses Kay, and I found an unidentified manuscript of his in the Oliver Daniel collections. I decided to see if I could figure out what piece of Kay's it was. To summarize, I first looked over the manuscript to see what information was present. I learned the work was for string orchestra, and this specific manuscript was created in April 1953. Then I researched what works of Kay's were featured the specific instrumentation written around this year. I utilized the biobibliography of Kay held within the music division's collections for this, and I learned about Kay's 6 dances for string orchestra dating close to April 1953. Lastly, I listened to a recording of the 6 dances to confirm if the music matched the manuscript, and they matched. Featured here is the first page of the manuscript, now identified as the first and second movement of Kay's 6 dances for string orchestra. During my time at the Library of Congress, I learned about the finer details of creating digital records of music manuscripts and about the library itself, and my efforts throughout this project led me to contributing to the American music legacy by increasing international discoverability of musical works by African-American composers. I'm thankful to all the help I received this summer from my fellow interns, the employees of the music division, and to my mentor, Paul Sommerfeld. Thank you.